Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the worst credit card that I've ever owned, and we're getting started right now. So, to give you a bit of context, I've opened more than 25 different credit cards over the past 10 years, and I've primarily utilized this to fund my travels to more than 85 countries. And I made a video, I'll link it at the end here, explaining why I have 25 credit cards. And at the end, I'll also link a video about my top 5 favorite credit cards. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the number one worst credit card I've ever opened. I always do 2 to 3 weeks of research before I open a card. So I'm opening a small percentage of all the credit cards available. There's a lot worse credit cards out there, but this is going to be one of the worst experiences I've had with opening a credit card. And I'll get through the 3 reasons on why I do not like this credit card. You'll want to stick around to the end to figure out which credit card is the worst credit card that I've actually ever opened. So coming in at number one reason why I dislike this credit card so much was the sign up process was so terrible. This was one of the worst sign up processes I've ever had. And I understand they need to go through certain verification processes. I understand they need to vet the person that is actually opening a business credit card and a credit card in general. I completely get that. But the process that they have was so convoluted, it was so clunky, and it was really frustrating. I signed up for the credit card, I entered all the information, and I received an email that would essentially allow me to track the status of this card. This link didn't work. This email didn't work. And after a few weeks, I started to get a little bit anxious and was wondering what was going on because it said through their tracking link that my application had not been submitted. So after that time, I ended up calling and they said the application had been received, but they were waiting on some additional documents. And to go through the verification process to figure out what documents I needed to send them took me through, I'm not joking, more than 5 different account representatives. It took over 2 hours just for them to tell me what documents I needed to send them. Then after that, after they finally told me which documents, they said the only way to provide this information and these other security checks was to fax them over a copy of my social security card, a copy of my bank statements, a copy of my IDs. And after opening up more than 25 credit cards, I've never had to send this amount of information to open up a credit card. I have an 815 credit score. I have a lot of great account history with credits. So this was not the issue. This is just a really clunky process that they have for their account verification. And again, if I were going to give them some feedback, was to create a dashboard, create a secure dashboard where I can go in, put in my social security number, enter some verification steps, and actually just upload these documents directly into the secure dashboard. Sending a fax in 2021 is just absolutely absurd to me, and especially since most average users or even business owners don't have fax machines. So the workaround for this was to open a electronic faxing system where you can essentially, like sending emails, send these documents through a fax, but it was a big hassle. So with the faxing, with the support, it was just a super clunky process to even get approved for this card. By the time I got approved, I was so upset that I am already planning on shutting this card down as soon as I hit the sign up bonus. That moves me on to step number 2. Once I met the sign up bonus, once I kind of got the card all set up, the actual dashboard to view your payments, view your pending transactions, the dashboard to actually see your payments and stuff is extremely outdated. It's so bare bones. It's not very intuitive. So it is, I'll post a screenshot here where it is just kind of bare. And again, it's just really kind of pathetic for a business credit card system. I would never recommend any business to actually open this up unless they just want to get the points, churn the card, and then move on to the next one. And that's essentially what I'm doing here is I'm meeting the sign up bonus, I'm collecting those points, and then I'm going to be closing this card down in the future because I do not like the service or credit card that they provide. And then that brings me on to the last reason. There's really 0 reasons to actually open up this credit card. So it does have a pretty solid sign-up bonus, which you're going to get 65,000 American Airlines points after you spend $1,000. So I spent $1,000, got those 65,000 points. Then I opened a authorized user, put $1 of charge on that authorized user. and got another 10,000 points. So spending $1,001 in my natural spending habits, stuff that I was going to normally purchase, I was able to collect 75,000 AA Advantage miles, and I'm putting these to great use by flying first class on Qatar Airways. And I'll be posting a photo here of what that's going to look like. But for 70,000 AA Advantage points, I'm going to be having a lie flat bed on the Q Suites on Qatar, and it only costs 70,000 American Advantage points and around $50 in taxes. So the card that I'm talking about today, which you're probably wondering, is the AA Advantage Aviator World Elite Business MasterCard. Now, there's a lot of, now that's a mouthful. And again, I don't even like the name of this card. It's just too many words. They could shorten this down a little bit. And I've kind of noticed this, that a lot of the MasterCards just don't have as nearly good of deals as Amex Visa. And I would say Chase is my number one go-to for cards, then Amex, and then anything after that has been a little bit more clunky of a sign-up process. So overall, I would say this is not a great card to hold and use for long term, but it is a really good sign-up bonus regardless. I would rank it in, probably the top 20 cards just for the sign-up bonuses, but as a credit card, it's terrible. I will not be keeping this in my wallet. I won't be using it past the sign-up bonus. And I'm curious to hear, what is your worst credit card out there? I want to know what cards you disliked after opening. Leave a comment below in the description. And if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. I'm putting out 2 new videos every week, and I really appreciate your support. And if you learned something new, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much.